In a dystopian world where basic necessities are offered for an irreplaceable cost, a struggling mother only has 5 days to save her daughter. But will she make it in time? A great pandemic infected humankind, animals, and crops all over the planet. Food shortages led to chaos as people battled over limited resources. This also caused the government and society's downfall. When the disease finally passed, a new world government known as the Bureau emerged, offering survivors protection and resources for a cost, known as the deal. Tala Bayani is handed a slip of paper and congratulated for getting processed. Though she thanks the messenger, her co-worker seems somber at hearing the news. She arranges her workstation, but as she departs, Tala pockets a tube of paint. On the streets, Annalyn Bayani fixes a broken fan and kids crowd around it. Moments later, Tala shouts, calling her daughter over. At the food counter, Tala skips the line because she took the deal. Annalyn is ashamed of their privilege, but her mother still takes the last portion of food despite the complaints of those queued. At dinner, Annalyn announces she doesn't want to eat. Not wanting to force the matter, Tala instructs her daughter on how to budget for her future and to look for hidden opportunities. Annalyn blurts that she doesn't care about hidden opportunities, she only cares about her mother not dying. Tala says there's nothing they can do about the time bomb inside her. Annalyn commends her mom's choices, then storms out. Choosing escapism, she heads to a club. While there, the power goes out, but she's able to fix it easily. Kabira takes special notice of her, praising Annalyn's skill. Annalyn says it's the result of studying 2 years of electrical engineering. They do quick introductions, and Kabira shares that she works at a morgue. Annalyn shares that she studied engineering and hopes of escaping her poor quality life with her skills. Kabira replies that there's no way out of the city, but Annalyn counters, saying the railroad, a secret society, is a way out. She claims they're still watching, looking for useful people. Others interject, saying the railroad was shut down or it's just bait to pick up rebels. However, Annalyn is adamant that it's real, and it's how her father disappeared. Hearing enough fantasy, Kabira excuses herself, greeting Jin on the way out. Later, Jin and Annalyn are on the rooftop. Annalyn says she's a little dizzy, blaming it on Jin's brew. She then calls him out on breaking into the university lab again. Annalyn then confides about her situation at home, saying she finds it difficult to navigate her feelings regarding her mother's processing. With the cityscape in front of them, Jin promises to do his best to fill the void Tala will leave behind, the two of them together against the world. At home, Tala is busy budgeting for Annalyn's future when she notices her daughter is back. They get into another argument about Annalyn's choice of friends, but the daughter defends that those friends are the ones that'll help her survive. Tala declares her disapproval of Jin, so Annalyn criticizes Tala's choice of men, though she immediately regrets it. Suddenly, Annalyn groans in pain, so her concerned mother says they're going to a doctor tomorrow, while they're still supported by the deal. The next day at the clinic, Annalyn is considering stealing medical supplies, justifying it as an opportunity. Tala contemplates, then suggests taking the bandages. Just then, the doctor enters. They are informed that Annalyn has kidney failure, and they will be scheduled for transplant, although their income level does not qualify for the priority list. She gives them medication to help with her symptoms for the meantime. While waiting, Annalyn watches promotional material regarding the deal, touted as a gift and a way to manage scarce resources. The Bureau grants priority access to basic needs for 20 years, but afterward, the takers are dealt with through processing. At the scheduling counter, they are notified that the earliest appointment is in 6 months. Tala protests, citing her processing is in 4 days and her kidneys will be wasted. The clerk asks if they have other family members that could donate, but Tala emphasizes that it's just them. The clerk coolly replies that there's nothing she can do. This infuriates Tala, learning Annalyn will die because of scheduling issues. When the clerk calls security, Annalyn takes her mother outside and says she will take the deal to buy more time. However, Tala is strongly against this, saying the deal is a curse. The next day, Tala visits the bureau to request for an extension. She explains that she only needs time until her daughter's surgery appointment, as she plans to give her kidneys. The clerk clerk informs her that there are no extensions and coldly reprimands her for having children. Tala tries bribing the clerk, who's uninterested and suggests her daughter to take the deal. Incensed, Tala leaves, but a bureau employee calls her attention, offering his services. The following day, Tala and Annalyn head to a black market clinic. After paying the doctor, he leads them to a makeshift operating room. Suddenly, a phone rings, and as the doctor goes to answer it, Annalyn asks if he can also remove bureau time bombs. The man responds that he cannot because any tampering causes instant detonation. When the doctor leaves, Annalyn wonders why there's a container for organs. She looks in the closet and finds more containers with labels matching their age. Alarmed, she tells her mom that they're going to be harvested. Annalyn looks for an escape route and sees a fire exit. Meanwhile, the doctor confirms today's pickup to the caller before entering the room to find his prey missing. Seeing the open window, he races to the fire exit. Meanwhile, the two sneak out the front door. Tala makes sure to grab the money on their way out. Safely outside, Tala declares that they'll find another doctor. Wary, Annalyn suggests looking for another donor instead, her father. She points out that the bureau has everyone's information and they can find him through that. Later, Jin opens his door to see Tala and Annalyn outside. Tala puts on a fake smile and enters without invitation, leaving the two behind her. Inside, there are bottles with colored liquids, as well as Kabira. Kabira grabs a case of it, acknowledges the newcomers, then leaves. Annalyn says they need access to bureau records. Jen informs her that it's a closed system, meaning they need to access it inside the bureau or through someone with a remote terminal. Jen discloses that he knows someone with a remote terminal that can be bribed, but it'll be expensive. Tala hands him money and asks if it's enough. Unfortunately, he says no, but gives them the address anyways. Later, Tala pawns off her jewelry for more money, though dismayed at the price she got for it. Afterward, Annalyn checks the address they're supposed to visit and learns that it's in a gated district. Upon seeing a bureau laundry employee, Tala decides to steal his truck. Annalyn is surprised at her mother's sudden change in attitude but complies. They hotwire the truck and use a map to get to their destination. To bypass the guards, Annalyn hands her mother a uniform she found and hides behind a curtain of laundry. After passing the checkpoint, their relief quickly turns into indignation when they see the wealthy's quality of life. Upon arriving at the address, they are invited to the patio, where they meet a woman wearing sunglasses. Tala hands her the money, but the woman notes it's $10 short and tells them to come back when they have the right amount. Tala protests, stating she and her daughter will be dead by then and pleads for solidarity between mothers. Eventually, the woman takes the money and leads them to the terminal. Once there, she removes her sunglasses, revealing a black eye, and scans her face, then gives Tala and Annalyn privacy. Through the terminal, both are surprised to learn that her father is still living in their district. Soon after, the two head to Annalyn's father's home. Michael Bayani opens his door to see his estranged wife and daughter, and after awkward introductions, they go inside. Tala compliments his home, saying he's done well for himself. Annalyn is pleasantly surprised that her father is an engineer, realizing she got her skills from him. Tala then informs him that Annalyn needs one of his kidneys. She'd gladly give hers, but the surgery is scheduled in 6 months, whereas her processing is in 4 days. However, Michael suggests they look for other matches because he can't help them. Dismayed, Tala asks why he won't help his daughter, to which Michael reveals that he'll be processed in 4 months, making his estranged wife in disbelief that he took the deal. They begin arguing, and it's revealed that during their relationship, both were unwilling to take the deal, certain they'd manage somehow. Then, Michael discloses that he left because Tala took the deal behind his back, so the woman argues that she didn't want her daughter to grow up with nothing. Annalyn is shocked to learn that her mother took the deal because of her. After these sudden revelations, Tala excuses herself for the bathroom. She notices it's bare, as if Michael is leaving soon. She spots a packed bag in the corner which reinforces her suspicions. Meanwhile, Michael tells his daughter that he'd help her if he could, but Annalyn is skeptical of his statement. Tala announces that they're leaving as she rushes past them, so Michael follows her out and apologizes. As Annalyn brushes past him, her father tells her that he's glad they met. The father regretfully looks on as he's once again alone. Outside, Tala shares that Michael has a packed bag, meaning he's leaving soon. Annalyn speculates that he's escaping to the railroad, but her mother responds that there's no such thing. Still, even if there was, they don't have enough time. Optimistic, Annalyn says they have enough time, and they decide to follow Michael. At home, the duo quickly pack supplies and bid farewell to their home. Tala says it was a nice place, though the rent was overpriced. Soon, Annalyn stops by Jen's place and and is taken aback to see Kabira. Kabira acts territorially, saying Jin isn't there, and then remarks on Annalyn's backpack, asking if she's going on a trip. Annalyn avoids the question, and instead requests Kabira to tell Jin she's sorry they didn't get a chance to talk. When Annalyn leaves, Kabira looks for her out the window. That night, the mother and daughter follow Michael to an abandoned facility where he sets up camp. Tala insists on taking the first watch, and before sleeping, Annalyn asks her mother what she liked about Michael. The mother shares that he was a dreamer like her, but dreams don't pay the bills. The next morning, Tala wakes up horrified that she fell asleep. Panic-stricken, she wakes her daughter and reports that Michael is gone. Suddenly, Michael replies that he's still there and advises them to stop following him, stating it's dangerous. Undeterred, Tala demands to know where he's going and threatens to tell the police. Michael scoffs, but shares that he was selected to join an encampment to replace an engineer that died. He continues that they're cautious when inviting people in, and information is only given in pieces at different stations like a railroad. Annalyn asks if they have doctors and if they can defuse time bombs, and Michael emphasizes they have everything. However, he repeats that they will only let him in. Determined, Tala declares they're willing to risk it. Just then, they hear a commotion below and spot a group of armed men. The family tries to avoid them but are eventually seen. Michael acts as a diversion, drawing the men away from his family. The mother and daughter run in the opposite direction and Michael soon joins them, emerging from an open window. Once safely outside, Annalyn gets sick, remarking that all their stuff and her medicine was left behind. She says she's fine and urges them to keep going. The father sighs and says he can't guarantee they'll get in, but promises to bring them along. They head to the next station, a factory, and Michael puts on a uniform similar to the workers. He instructs his family to wait for him and blends with the crowd. Moments later, Tala gets antsy, saying Michael hasn't changed at all and has left them once again. Annalyn defends her father, stating her delightful personality was the reason for her father's sudden change. Soon, Michael comes back with a set of uniforms for them to wear. From the rooftop, Kabira spots the family as they merge with a group of workers. Then, the family sneaks to their designated station. They meet a man who remarks that the invitation was only for one. Nonetheless, he escorts them deeper into the facility and informs them that they must go through the tunnels and head for the water, where a boat will arrive in the morning. Unfortunately, security arrives, demanding to see their papers. Annalyn knocks him unconscious, but not before he could radio for assistance. The station guide hastily scribbles a note and hands it to Michael as they make their way through a hatch, leaving security behind. The family finds themselves in a cavern where they take a break. Tala apologizes for her rash decision 20 years ago, and Michael compliments her on raising their daughter well. They both regret their choices and ponder what could have been if they stayed together. Soon, they exit to a cliff overlooking a lake in the wastelands, where vegetation has started to grow back. They proceed to build a camp, and as Tala gathers firewood, Annalyn asks her father what made him give up on his dreams. He shares that his dreams were meaningless without Tala or her. That evening, they share a heartwarming moment as a family, sitting under the stars while Michael cooks dinner. Tala becomes less distant to her previous lover, and Annalyn gets to see the softer side of her mother. The following day, Annalyn wakes up and sees a boat in the distance. They run towards it, but the man in the boat will only allow Michael to board. The father tries to explain, but the man asserts he will only take Michael. Michael loses his temper and accosts the man, though he quickly changes his mind upon realizing he still doesn't know where the next station is. As the two women watch in horror, Michael lets the man go. He then apologizes to his wife and daughter before getting on the boat and tells the man to get going. Desperate, the two women swim after the boat while Michael looks back at them in shame. Crushed from her father's betrayal and her future prospects, Annalyn gives up. However, her mother tells her to be strong and persuades her to go back into the wall. The next day, they are back at where they started. Defeated, Tala notifies her daughter that they don't have much left, and Annalyn needs to take the deal to make do. Abruptly, Tala announces that she's leaving. Annalyn pleads to come along, but her mother refuses, stating it's better to go alone. As they say their goodbyes, Tala suddenly rushes out, leaving Annalyn distraught and alone. Later, Tala arrives at the bureau for processing. Meanwhile, Annalyn heads to Jin's, where she lets out her despair. Hearing her, Kabira comes out from one of the rooms and offers to help save Tala. Jin discourages her from doing anything rash, but Annalyn is intent on saving her mom. At the bureau, Tala is led to a white room. She changes into a gown, and as she climbs on the bed, a disembodied voice thanks her for her service and assures her that she can now sleep peacefully. Soon, a man enters the room, prompting Tala to lie down. He attaches electrodes, warning her that she'll feel a small shock. The woman braces herself for what she believes are her final moments. However, nothing happens. The technician announces that they're finished and her timer has been reset. Confused, Tala asks why she has another 20 years, and the man replies someone has already given their life in exchange for hers. Realizing what happened, Tala demands to know where her daughter is. Before the man could answer properly, Tala kicks him and runs out, shouting Annalyn's name at every door she comes across while the technician radios for help. Meanwhile, Annalyn is given a dark blue liquid and confirms that she's ready to die. She drinks it and lies down, closing her eyes moments later. Suddenly, Tala bursts in and finds Annalyn. She tries to wake her daughter, but she's unresponsive. Security apprehends the devastated mother who resists, but she's eventually subdued with force. Soon after, Tala regains consciousness in the morgue and sees Annalyn on the autopsy next to her. Unexpectedly, Kabira and Jin enter, and they inject Annalyn with a light blue liquid. Moments pass, but the antidote doesn't seem to be working. Suddenly, Annalyn opens her eyes. The group is relieved, and Kabira reveals that the railroad has been watching Annalyn, evaluating her skills. Jin was contracted to develop a poison that could mimic death as a way to smuggle Annalyn out. They were only supposed to take Annalyn, but Michael persuaded the railroad to take Tala as well. Afterward, the mother and daughter are wheeled out of the bureau and will soon join Michael and the railroad. In the end, Annalyn's friends, the people Tala disapproved of, did indeed help them survive.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.